What if I told you that Canada just fired back at Donald Trump's trade war not with angry speeches or economic threats, but with 630,000 tons of aluminum and a $1.5 billion megaproject? While President Trump is out front hammering out tariffs and pushing his One Big Beautiful Bill, Canada is making its move in silence. It's not just surviving. It's evolving. What we are witnessing now could mark a turning point in global industrial power, and no one's really talking about it. Until now. Trump has made it clear again and again. In Davos, on Truth Social, in interviews with AP and Time, he said the US doesn't need Canada. Not for aluminum, not for lumber, not for dairy, and definitely not for energy. He's even said Canada could cease to exist without US support. But here's the plot twist no one saw coming. While Trump was busy talking, Canada was building. Literally. In Quebec, Aluminum Alouette, already the continent's powerhouse, just announced a massive $1.5 billion in expansion of its Seattle's facility. This isn't about optics, it's about ownership of the North American aluminum future. And it's built on three things: clean energy, strategic foresight, and one very clear message to Washington: Canada won't wait to be sidelined. This isn't just an economic story. It's political, technological, and deeply strategic. Why? Because aluminum is everywhere. From Teslas to fighter jets, beverage cans to satellite parts. And in a future defined by electric vehicles, lightweight materials, and clean tech, whoever controls aluminum controls the chassis of the modern economy. Canada's been watching, calculating, and now it's making a power move while the world's eyes are focused elsewhere. The deal at Aluminum Alouette is split into two time frames: $750 million flowing through 2030, and another massive wave through 2045. That kind of long-haul commitment isn't common. It means Canada isn't just reacting to tariffs. It's reshaping how and where aluminum is made, shipped, and sold. The facility, already backed by European investors and Rio Tinto, isn't just going green, it's going global. Powered by Hydro-Quebec's stable, low-carbon grid, Alouette can guarantee long-term emissions reduction targets that most US plants can't come close to matching. This isn't just an economic hedge, it's a moral and environmental high ground that matters more in international trade than ever before. So who's behind this push from the Canadian side? That would be Mélanie Joly. She's not just Canada's foreign affairs minister anymore. She's becoming the economic pit boss in a high-stakes global game. And she's playing to win. During her recent visit to Quebec's aluminum corridor, Joly didn't just shake hands. She made it known: Trump's tariffs are, in her words, unjustified, illegal, and unacceptable. And she's doing something rare for a politician: she's cutting red tape instead of adding it. Funding forms that used to be 50 pages long are now 12. Liquidity pipelines through BDC and SED are being expanded to help small manufacturers get the financing they need to compete. And she's rolled out a three-phase strategy that's as aggressive as anything coming from Washington. In the short term, Canada is defending against dumping and subsidized US competitors. In the medium term, it's driving investment and trimming bureaucracy. But the long game? That's where it gets really interesting. Joly wants Canadian aluminum integrated into national defense, infrastructure, and high-tech manufacturing. She's not just planning for the next quarter, she's planning for the next quarter-century. Her warning to her own government is clear: Trump could change the rules again tomorrow morning with a single tweet. Canada needs to be ready before that happens. And they are not just preparing, they are moving. Let's look at the data. In May 2025, Canadian exports to non-US countries jumped 5.7%. US-bound exports, meanwhile, slumped to their lowest point since the early days of the pandemic. That's not coincidence. That's a deliberate strategy in motion. Canada's trade deficit shrank by over $1.7 billion in a single month. Gold is now heading to the UK, crude to Singapore, pork to Japan. And even smaller players, like pharma firms and companies that make specialty goods, are dialing in on Europe and Asia. The Great Pivot, as some economists are now calling it, isn't just a reaction. It's the beginning of a reorientation of Canada's entire export strategy. And they've got tools the US can't match. While America fights with trade partners, Canada has working free trade agreements with the EU and the CPTPP bloc. That's 70% of the world's economy that Canada can trade with, no tariffs, no battles, just business. And with climate policy becoming a key filter for trade decisions in Europe and Asia, Canada's green aluminum is suddenly in high demand. The US might have bigger yards, but Canada has cleaner power, and in 2025, that matters more than ever. Now you're probably wondering, what about manufacturing? Is Canada really going to replace everything it loses from American trade? Short answer, no. Not yet. In June, the S&P Global PMI dropped to 45.6, the lowest since COVID. That's a 5-month contraction streak, and it's hurting traditional manufacturing hard. But where one engine slows down, another accelerates. Canada's clean tech sector is exploding. From EV battery components in Ontario and Manitoba, to aerospace composites in Montreal, to hydrogen innovation hubs, there's a quiet green renaissance underway. And aluminum is at the core of it all. Aerospace alone shipped out nearly 19 billion Canadian dollars last year. And with aluminum demand set to rise in EVs, wind turbines, and lightweight transport, Canada's investment now is almost guaranteed to pay off later. Premier Legault and Minister Joly are doubling down on what they call next-gen manufacturing. That means low-emission, high-output, digitally optimized supply chains that don't depend on US demand to survive. And remember, this isn't just about aluminum. It's about the systems and ports that move it. That brings us to one of Canada's hidden strengths, its ports. Take Port Saguenay in Quebec. It was once a minor blip on the global logistics map. Now, it's a high-octane launch pad. Aluminum shipments are now heading directly from Quebec to Italy and Germany thanks to new shipping lanes and logistical upgrades. These aren't just faster, they are cleaner. Ports like Saguenay are being outfitted to handle ESG-compliant cargo. That's a big deal for European buyers who are increasingly choosing suppliers based not just on price, but carbon footprint. What's even smarter is that these upgrades don't just benefit aluminum. They are helping to export hydrogen, rare earth metals, composite materials, and more. Intermodal rail links and cold storage hubs are being built in tandem. This is Canada's economic insurance policy, its ability to reroute products overnight when trade gets weaponized. And let's be honest, that's becoming more common than ever. So what does all this mean? Well, here's the verdict. Canada didn't just survive Trump's tariffs. It flipped the entire narrative. With this aluminum overhaul, it's proving that a middle power can recalibrate, redirect, and even rise above. Joly's strategy is bold: inject cash, slash bureaucracy, diversify exports, and build for tomorrow. It's not defensive. It's transformative. Sure, Trump fired the first shot. But Canada's reply wasn't just retaliation, it was reinvention. The US may still be the biggest economy in the world. But Canada is now charting a new route, one defined not by dependency, but by design. And now we want to hear from you. Do you think Canada can maintain this momentum without US support? Can a green aluminum revolution replace the jobs and production lost to traditional manufacturing? Is this a blueprint for other countries looking to escape economic dependency? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video insightful, please hit the like button. It helps push this content to more people who care about global trade and clean tech. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a turn in this rapidly shifting economic race. And don't forget to tap the bell icon so you're first to know when our next story drops. Thanks for watching. Keep questioning, keep thinking, and we'll see you in the next one.